Yes, Moise Casiedo is close to agreeing a deal to sign a new Chelsea contract. His new deal will run until 2033. I think this is a major boost for Chelsea at a difficult time. Results haven't been good. There have been unwelcome headlines linking players like Enzo Fernandez and Marc Cucurella with moves away from Stamford Bridge. So I think fans will be very happy with this news. Moise Casiedo obviously is pledging his future to Chelsea. He still believes in what is happening at Chelsea. Now, Chelsea signed him almost 3 years ago now in this incredible deal from Brighton, where they paid, I think, up to £115 million for him. And at the time, he signed a really long-term contract, 8 years. Chelsea had the option of a further year as well, but he's been rewarded for his performances with a new deal. And you would imagine he's getting a pay rise as well. This news, I think, was first reported by Matt Law in The Telegraph, so it's only fair that we credit him. I'm not 100% sure that it was him. I'm pretty sure it was him. I will double check that.
Yeah, and I think it was hinted at a few weeks ago that some of their senior players would be committing their future,
I think,
off the back of what we heard from Fernandez.
You go to Chelsea more than I do, and I think whenever you ask the head coach questions about what's going wrong at Chelsea, sometimes the point is made, well, just hang on a minute, see what happens with the players, because if the players are unhappy at the club, they wouldn't be signing contract extensions. And we've been told in the past, wait and see, there will be news about contract extensions. And obviously a couple of weeks ago, we got the news that Captain Reece James had signed a new contract until 2032. So that was a major boost. Now, Moise Casiedo, another key player, signing a new contract is another major boost for Chelsea at a very difficult time.
Step forward, at least according to Sky Sports News' Cave Saleh-Call, after the club reportedly moved quickly to secure one of its most influential midfield performers for the long haul. Agreement reached on a major new deal. Sky Sports News' Cave Saleh-Call reports that Chelsea have reached an agreement with Moise Caicedo over a new contract with improved terms. The key detail is the length. The updated deal is expected to run until at least 2033, which would take Caicedo from being a high-value addition into something closer to a cornerstone of the club's long-term project. In football terms, contracts like this don't happen casually. They're usually reserved for players who have done more than fill a role. They've shaped games, raised standards around them, and become trusted figures within the squad. Caicedo, the report suggests, has reached that level of importance at Stamford Bridge. And if you zoom out, the logic is clear. Chelsea wants stability in the heart of the pitch. They want leadership, consistency, and a player whose engine never really stops. Caicedo, by reputation and by contribution, fits that identity. A pay rise earned through impact. Alongside the extended timeline, the Sky Sports piece indicates that Caicedo is set to receive a pay rise as a reward for his impact and performances since his move to Chelsea. That matters because pay rises linked to performance aren't only about money. They're also about recognition, public confirmation that a club believes the player is not just meeting expectations, but pushing beyond them. For a midfielder, especially one tasked with both defensive work and attacking build-up, impact can be measured in many ways. Breaking up opposition rhythm before it becomes dangerous, covering space and protecting teammates, turning defense into attack with quick, progressive decision-making, maintaining tempo under pressure, consistently doing the unseen work that keeps a team stable. When a club signs off on a contract extension with improved terms, it signals that those qualities are being...
When a club signs off on a contract extension with improved terms, it signals that those qualities are being seen every week, not just occasionally. From a $115 million gamble to long-term investment. The Caicedo story at Chelsea began with one of the most expensive moves in the club's modern history. Chelsea signed him from Brighton nearly 3 years ago in a deal worth around £115 million. That kind of fee carries a heavy burden. For supporters, it raises the question, can this player justify the price tag? For the club, it comes with responsibility. Make the investment worth it. Build the investment around him. Protect his confidence. Get the best out of him. At the time of signing, the narrative was clear. Chelsea were signaling ambition and attempting to accelerate their transformation into a more competitive force of their own.
Now, with this report describing an agreement for improved terms until at least 2033, the implied answer to that $115 million question seems to be yes. Casiedo has not only adapted, he's progressed into a player Chelsea believe can remain central to their identity for years. The contract structure, 8 years and an option. The report also reminds us of the details of his earlier deal. Casiedo initially signed an 8-year contract when he joined, with an option to extend by a further year. So Chelsea didn't bring him in on a short stop-start basis. From the beginning, they were planning for continuity and long-term value. What's happening now? An agreement for a new contract with improved terms to run until at least 2033 suggests that the club's faith in his role hasn't declined. In fact, it likely increased. This is where the timing becomes meaningful. Nearly 3 years after arriving, Chelsea are not merely renewing his presence on the books.
They're adjusting the contract to reflect his current status. That can happen when 1. A player over-delivers relative to expectations. 2. A player becomes more crucial as the team evolves. 3. The club wants to ward off interest from elsewhere. 4. A club wants to reward loyalty and performance consistency. 5. The player's market value rises beyond the original contract's fair terms. In other words, this doesn't look like a routine administrative task. It looks like a carefully planned move, one likely designed to keep Casiedo settled, motivated, and regarded as a key piece of Chelsea's midfield puzzle. Why extending Casiedo matters for Chelsea's rebuild? Chelsea have spent recent seasons reshaping their squad, balancing youth development with the need to be competitive right away. In that kind of environment, one of the hardest things to achieve is continuity in the spine of the team. When managers rotate, tactics change, new signings arrive, and player roles shift, the question becomes, who provides stability? Who keeps the team connected? Who reads matches like a veteran even when they're still young? A midfielder like Casiedo can become that stabilizing force because he sits at the intersection of defensive structure, transitional moments, ball progression, and player communication. If Chelsea can secure Casiedo through 2033, it gives them something every rebuilding club needs, a dependable platform around which the rest of the squad can grow. Young players develop faster when their closest passing options, defensive organizers, and tactical references remain consistent. New signings integrate more smoothly when there's a player who understands the club's demands and brings them to life in real time. The "until at least 2033" message. The phrase "until at least 2033" is also interesting. It suggests a contract length that pushes further than a typical extension. It implies Chelsea see Casiedo not merely as a